Now, 10 minutes before 10 o'clock, excuse me, I'm just looking at my screens. And the news, immediate news, straight through. Everton have just sacked Sam Allardyce, so Sam is out of Goodison. What about that, Dino, then? It's no major shock, is it? But I'm sure Sam's like, okay, I don't know what his contract terms will be, but they're going to have to pay him, aren't they?
In any other walk of life, that is unfair dismissal, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Like, you give him a job.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And then sack him.
Well, it's the fans who've got him out. Let's be honest. It's not the board. It's the fans who have got him out. Definitely. 25 games, Dino. 10 wins, 7 draws, 8 loss. 30 goals for, 29 against. So you got just about 1.5 points per game. But more importantly, Everton in trouble. They finish 1 point behind Arsenal. 1 point behind the Arsenal.
Well, when he sat down and they got him in the office and said, "Would you come and be our manager?" And he says, "What do you expect from me?" Just get us out of
that's
trouble.
when he took over. What am I talking about? I'm just looking at this table here. This is after 24 games. They're
8th in the league. They're sitting 8th in the league. Well, I can understand some of the fans are really annoyed about the way they play, the football they play in. But
is this a new phenomenon we're seeing now, that fans are saying, I'm not paying for this, I'm not enjoying this? Is that what we're seeing now?
We are, yeah. And I think
West Ham fans as well.
Well, I think with Gary Neville being on Sky Sports, and he's talking about the tactics and different people go Monday Night Soccer, and before that Andy Gray started educating supporters on systems and football. I think fans now know more about football. And they expect more.
Well, this is a club statement. Here we go. Professor Denise Barrett Baxendale, said, on behalf of the chairman, the board of directors, and Mr. Mashiri, I'd like to thank Sam Allardyce for the job he's done at Everton over the last 7 months. Sam was brought in at a challenging time last season to provide us with some stability, and we're very grateful for him doing that. However, we have made the decision that, as part of our longer-term plan, we will be appointing a new manager this summer, and we'll be commencing this process immediately. Again, we'd like to place on record sincere thanks to Sam for his work with us over the last few months, and wish him well for the future. If you were going in there as the new manager, would you be worried about the board?
Yeah, I'd say, what's the budget? What's the playing budget? How much have I got? And if they said, well, it's the 10th highest in the league, I'd say, so where do you expect me to finish with that budget? And if they say 7th, I'd say, no thanks.
Would you?
That's got the sack written all over it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I tell you what, let's head up quickly then. We'll head up to the Whittle Squiddle. Beaky's coming on. He's just heard the news as well. Graham, a very good morning.
Hi, Al. Hi, Dean.
What do you feel about this, Graham? Seriously, look, we know there was unrest with the fans, but Sam's done his job. They're 8th in the table. Do you feel he's been hard done by here, Beaky?
No, I don't, to be honest with you. I think that, yes, he did his job and did it well and kept them up. But from that stage of the proceedings, from, I don't know, let's say 8 games out, for instance, from the end of the season, there was then the chance, because they were safe at that stage, everybody knew then they were going to be staying up. There was then the chance for Sam to write his own CV, if you like, and say, OK, lads, right, we're staying up. Now we're going to play some more expansive football. Now I'm going to show you what I think you can do in the future for Everton.
But what if he feels, Graham, he hasn't got the players to do that?
Well, if he feels that, surely he can get a better tune nonetheless out of them. Every manager wants their own players in the club. We know that. But don't forget,
Graham,
he signed 2 players in the transfer window. Tosin came over from the Turkish international came over, and he also brought in the former England winger. So you had a couple of players in there who were well capable of improving the side, and they did improve the side, no question about it. But there still wasn't the attractive brand of football that Everton wanted.
Yeah, but Graham, it's like you, right? Coming on the radio every day. It's like you coming on the radio every day. The talkSPORT have asked you to do a report. You do it properly every day.
Biggie, turn your granddad's clock down.
And then at the end of the week...
the granddad's clock is my flipping phone. Hang on a second. Sorry, Dean. Say that again, please.
We're going to have to sack you, Graham, for that. I'm sorry. Unfair dismissal. No, but it's like you do his job. You've been asked to do a job. He does a job, and then he gets sacked. No one mentioned expansive football. when he had that meeting.
Well, I think you've got to say that what is going to improve Everton? Are they going to be challenging right up at the top of the table, which is what everybody wants? And I know that's not going to happen overnight, and so do Everton fans. They're not stupid. Are you going to do that by continuing with the brand of football that Sam Allardyce was displaying?
Yeah, but hang on a minute. And didn't you play total football with Roberto Martinez? Out from the back and getting beat every week?
Well, no, I don't think they got beat every week. Yeah, he was fired at the end of the day because he didn't get it right at the back. But at the same time,
they were playing a wide open football.
It was a good brand of football, and Everton fans were very happy with it up until the time, of course, when things didn't go right. But you've got to look at it from the point of view that the Everton supporters as well, I think, also didn't take to Sam. Now, this manager fitting a club thing is an interesting debate, isn't it? But he wasn't the fit for Everton. Everton fans couldn't reconcile what he was saying with what they were seeing on the pitch. They didn't feel, I don't think there was any empathy there. There wasn't any improvement, Dean, and he had time to improve that side. You look at that squad, and is it significantly worse than Burnley's? Is it significantly worse than Arsenal's? Probably the answer to that is yes, if I'm honest with you. But is it significantly worse than Burnley's? I think it's a better squad than Burnley's, and yet Sean Dyche has got a much better tune out of Burnley than Sam Allardyce managed at Everton Football Club.
They don't play wide open football, Burnley.
Biggie, just a quick one. Where does that leave Wayne Rooney?
Well, that's going to be another interesting question. He may be waiting to see who comes in. Marco Silva is the favourite for it. And to see what happens there. But, I mean, they've got to add to the likes of Theo Walcott and Towson there with quality players. And we might well see that there's another factor here in that they're still looking for, if all accounts are right, and I'm sure they are, they're still looking for a new director of football. So what will he say when he comes in, and what's the plan for the future? And I think Wayne Rooney may just hold on a move to DC United until he hears all that, until he hears the right sort of thing. Because I tell you what, I still think he's got a part to play. Yeah, he's not going to run around up front. He's not going to press people. He's not, got the legs that he used to have, but he's still a quality footballer. He's still one of the great goals of the season for Everton, the goal of the season for Everton, one of the great goals of the season in the Premier League. Given the right service, given the room to operate in midfield, he can still influence a match with his ability to pass and score goals from midfield.
Bicky, nice one. Thanks,
Okay.
Graham.
Cheers,
Graham
Graham.
Baycroft there from Wirral. Now, by the way, stay tuned because there's a great interview with Gary Lineker coming up. If you look in one of the papers, it may be the Telegraph, Gary talking about this should be a stepping stone for England, the World Cup, no more. Has he changed his mind? Jim White will tell you a wee bit later. Just to remind you, Everton have just announced Sam Allardyce has been sacked. 2 minutes to 10.